my name is Allie Gravois, Associate Director of Admission here at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Today, I am joined by one of our student leaders and current RA, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Busang. I am a second-year PharmD major here at MCPHS, and I am also an RA for our St. Julie Residence Hall.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We're super excited to talk to you a little bit about the inside scoop of residence life. So definitely submit questions if you have any questions, but definitely let us know as we discuss residence life. So what is your favorite part about living in the residence halls?
My favorite part about living in residence halls, I would have to say, is the connections you make with students. Definitely, absolutely. In my first year, I lived in Fennel Hall, which is the traditional style residence halls. So I made friends all the time in the bathroom, in the halls, just walking around school at like midnight. So you just really get to know people.
Awesome. It seems like a really great community there, and hopefully you found that too. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the campus housing experience for students at MCPHS and what we have to offer to them?
Okay, I can do that. So we have 4 main residence halls here on campus. 2 of them are attached to the building. The ones attached to the building are Fennel and Matricaria. Fennel is a traditional style residence hall. What that means is you are assigned a room with a bed and a desk in it, and the bathroom is external of your room and shared with the community floor. In addition to that, you have laundry facilities and a lounge room that is shared with the floor/residence hall. Matricaria is more of an apartment style residence hall. That it means you have a kitchen and a bathroom built into your suite with your relevant suite mates and roommates in there as well. And we have Treehouse and St. Julie. Those are our external sort of residence hall that are not built into the building. Treehouse is also kind of a fusion between traditional style and apartment style because you don't have an in-unit kitchen. However, you do have that bathroom attached to those rooms as well. St. Julie is our upperclassmen hall mainly, and it is also apartment style.
Sounds like a really cool experience to live on campus. So thank you so much for sharing. So I know you mentioned a little bit about the kitchen. Do you mind sharing which residence halls have kitchens and what that whole process is? And do you cook?
Okay, I can talk about that. I try to cook when I can, although life can get busy. So I usually will grab something from the dining halls we have. Our 2 residence halls that have kitchens are Matricaria and St. Julie. And so what that means is that you are expected to cook pretty much half of the time. And so you're given a partial meal plan and you're alternating between cooking and using the dining halls.
So it gives you that kind of one-on-one experience if you'd like to cook where you live, or you could definitely go to the dining halls. And as Busang said, the food is really great on campus. Our students tend to like that. So even if you have a kitchen, you can still dine in our dining facilities as well. So thanks so much for sharing. We got a couple questions about residence life on decorating rooms. I know that you are an RA on campus, so you want to talk about what they can do to decorate, how you've decorated your room to make it like home.
Absolutely. So our residence halls are all pretty new and all pretty robust with like the paint and the building materials. So pretty much our policy at residence life is as long as it doesn't damage the room or it's not a fire hazard, you can go as crazy as you want. So this means you're able to put posters on the wall. You're able to put up, let's say, LED lights or string lights as long as they don't damage the walls, or they're not plugged in. They have to be battery powered. Decorate as you wish. Communicate with your roommates and make your space look pretty.
So I hear that you have a very decorative room. This is some of our tour guides. So.
I do have a particular style in my room.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that you've made it like home. We have some questions from our gamers. If they can bring their game system, do you have Wi-Fi in the residence halls? Is there cable? Do you mind speaking to that a little bit?
I can absolutely speak to that. So I myself am a gamer and I have multiple consoles as well. And you are able to connect your console to the network. Typically on our residence halls, we have the typical EduRoam network and we have the school network. So for your gaming consoles, you're able to connect that to the school network with the password. And depending on the residence hall, you can actually use the wired Wi-Fi connection, wired internet Ethernet cable, so that you can get a faster internet speed.
Awesome. Sounds like a good Saturday night fun for you for sure. So super excited about that. And definitely Wi-Fi is free of charge if you're a resident on campus. So you'll be able to connect all of your devices however you choose. So when you move in, there will be furniture in your room. Do you want to speak a little bit to what is provided, and then if students can bring furniture, or what's the policy on that?
Okay. Yes, so all of our rooms have furniture provided. Typically in all of our like bedrooms slash like sleeping areas, you will have a desk, you will have a sort of bed frame, you have the mattress provided as well. That's going to be twin XL, as well as a closet and a little dresser underneath your table, or adjacent underneath your bed or adjacent to your bed. That's what comes with the room. And in terms of bringing furniture yourself, if you can manage to get it up there, good on you. If you can fit in the elevator, then that's totally fine, as long as it's not taking up too much space as well. And for our apartment style residence halls, it does come with various sofas, sort of like a small dining table chair as well, various side tables, as well as a fridge and a stove.
So it seems like you got quite the setup in your apartment, which is great that you have all of those necessities. If you're coming from far away, they do provide that furniture. As he mentioned, twin extra large bed. So that might be something you might need to shop for sheets in the next couple of months for the fall semester. So we've chatted about the size of the beds. We chatted about the furniture. Let's talk a little bit about the support. So what is your role as an RA, and how do you support your residents definitely during this transition to college?
So my role as an RA, I sort of have, I guess you could say, I can distill it into three main roles. So obviously the main first role is I am a policy enforcer. I'm making sure the floor, things on the floor are going as they're supposed to be, making sure there's not too much trash, everyone is safe and welcome. If there are any fires, I tell everyone to get out, that sort of thing. Second role I have is sort of as a communicator and a facilitator of relationships. Me personally, when I came to MCPHS, I was really nervous about, like, am I going to make any friends? Am I going to feel welcome in the community? And the RA, the resident assistant, is sort of someone who can begin to facilitate connections between you, your roommates, and the greater school network, so you can get to know those people and those resources around you. And thirdly, RAs are considered like student leaders. They're student leaders who live on the floors. And although it's not necessary that they have other experiences, most of our RAs take up other roles around the school. I myself have been an orientation leader and work for other various departments around campus. So all our RAs are also personally dedicated to helping students and making the school feel like home.
It's a great answer. And thanks so much for sharing to our parents and students. Husseing's a great student leader on our campus, and hopefully your student will be involved as well. He also does give tours. So if you want to visit campus, I'm sure that you can jump on one of his tours in the next coming months for our events and daily tours. So why don't we talk a little bit about if you get sick on campus? Is there somewhere that the student can go, and how is that process like?
Absolutely. So our main provider for healthcare here at MCPHS is Carbon Health. They recently changed their name from Optum Health. They're actually located on the second floor of the Treehouse Residence Hall. So it's like a 10-minute walk from campus. And they treat students with any sort of insurance, and the school does provide insurance as well if a student wants to have school insurance. That's our main go-to. Additionally, we have a myriad of hospitals down the street and around Boston if a student would prefer one of those centers.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's so comforting to know that there is also support if you do get sick on campus. And being in the Longwood medical area, a lot of our students come to study healthcare. So there's tons of facilities, like he alluded to, if they do need additional care.
I'd like to also add to that kind of a cool thing. Since we are a School of Health Sciences, we have a lot of pharmacists who can or training to be immunized, to give shots and immunizations. So one of the cool things that will happen like the beginning of the year when people need their like flu shots, maybe COVID shots, chicken pox vaccinations, we'll actually have our Farm Day students come in and do it right in the school, right in the atrium. So that's kind of another level of support that we provide.
That's a really great tidbit too. I always get my flu shot from a student. I sometimes even get it from a student tour guide, which is always very entertaining. So it shows you that our students do give back to the MCPHS community, and it supports them in their health as well. So thank you so much for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit about security on campus. Do you feel safe on campus? What is the safety for the residence halls and just around campus in general for you as a student?
So I do feel safe on campus, and I think that begins firstly with the area that we're in, Longwood Medical Area, very safe area. There are lots of hospitals down the streets, as well as a lot of schools down the streets. They're aware that it's a high student population. So there are lots of like security officers and police officers roaming that are both are and are not affiliated with the various colleges around the school. And specific to MCPHS, we have our public safety officers on duty 24/7 hours a day. And they also monitor the ports of entry into the school. And every single person who enters the school has to tap in and tap out just so they know who's coming in. And even further, our residence halls attached to the schools are only accessible by people who can occupy those living spaces. So even though, for example, Fennel is attached to the school, you can only access it if you live in Fennel. No teachers can access it, no staff can access it. That is a space to make sure it's just for our students who live there.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Our students really love living on campus. We find that the students that live in the building also like to stay in the building during snowstorms too. We find that. So you got the walk now, but I'm sure you have buddies that don't have to move much when we get the New England snow. So thanks so much for sharing. So kind of speaking about safety, I know you kind of talked a little bit about guests and how they can't access if you're a faculty or staff or a student that doesn't live in that building. But if you have a guest, what is the guest policy on campus?
So we do have a pretty I guess lenient guest policy. You can have up to 2 guests at one given time. You just have to sign them in at the various desks we have in front of our residence halls. And a guest can stay 3 consecutive nights, and they can stay overnight for up to 5 days in a month period. The guest does have to be over the age of 18 or over the age of 18 as well. However, you as a resident of the space are not limited as to how many guests you can have in a given month or time period, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you so much. So if you have a friend from home that might be visiting or a sibling that may want to stay over, as long as they meet the age requirements, it seems that they can definitely come and visit you here in Boston, which is really great. So kind of speaking about Boston, I know that Busang has a lot of fun and he always has some great activity to share about how you went out for a weekend and tried maybe a new restaurant or caught a Red Sox game. So why don't you talk a little bit about the area in Boston and kind of living in those spaces right near some great places to hang out?
Well, Boston is a college city, so there's always lots of fun stuff to do. Um, So one of the things I like to do is I like to walk around and I like to shop a lot. And we're right by the T, so I can access all the big shopping centers I need to. So like the Back Bay area on Newbury Street, Washington Street, I can get to all those quickly. I did a lot of shopping recently, Black Friday, as well. There's also done a bunch of fun stuff around just in the area, because there are lots of students in the area. So just walking around campus, you'll see people playing video games, playing big games of tag, playing football or spike ball, and all of those are like free to join and enter. And just the benefit of being in such like an urban area is that there's so many things going around. All you need to do is ask of what's happening, and there's so many things to do.
Could definitely echo that. I feel like our students are going one direction or another. They're taking the T, which is our public transit system. They're walking. There's a blue bike system. I'm sure you've gone to maybe some sports games or shops somewhere or done something to that nature. So they really do embrace our neighborhood here in the Longwood Medical area, but also the Fenway neighborhood of Boston. He also alluded to the different neighborhoods that he can get to right on the train. Lots of shopping. I agree with that. So lots of fun things to definitely do within the area of our campus. So let's chat a little bit about if the student commits, and we hope we all commit to MCPHS. We are currently reading applications, and if you're watching this video, you've been admitted, and we're so excited. So we want you to commit, and we want to talk a little bit about move-in day. So Busang, why don't you talk about how move-in day works and what your role is on move-in day?
Okay, absolutely, I can do that. So Move-in Day, actually, we've recently revamped it. So it's a very smooth, actually, because it is a city area. So if we're not careful, we can get clogged up with traffic. We do bring in a variety of public safety officers and police officers to sort of control the flow of traffic. And each student who's moving in is given like a designated time to move in, and they're also given, depending on how much stuff they have, a team of student leaders and volunteers on campus to help them move their stuff in so that we can get them moved in and settled quickly and efficiently, and that there's no backup. And it's also a fun day because on move-in day, in the evening, once everyone's moved in, you're sort of settling. We have our first floor meetings for the day, so you can sort of meet your RA officially for the first time and meet other students on your floor.
And I think you had a really great experience with that this past year, and hopefully you'll see him in the coming years greeting you with the Residence Life staff. So we do have a question on what they can bring for move-in day. Can both my parents come? How does that process work for move-in day?
Yes. So for move-in day, you can bring, I believe, around 3 people into your residence hall at a time. So that means maybe your parents and a sibling to help you move in. And you also have, like I said, that team of student volunteers helping you out. And we do limit it just because we have a lot of students moving in on campus potentially at the same time to make sure things aren't too crowded in the residence halls.
Awesome. It sounds like a great day on campus, and we can't wait to welcome you to campus in hopes that you do commit to us. We get to see you in that August timeframe. So those are all the questions we have for now. Hopefully you got that inside scoop and you're starting to become excited for the upcoming year. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at the admissions office or send us an email at visit@mcphs.edu. Busang and I look forward to hopefully seeing you on a campus tour or at an admitted student event in the near future. So thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you on campus soon. Have a great one.